Hi folks, I'm taking you snowshoeing today. And you see me now? Snowshoes. Actually, before I go into that, let me welcome you to my humble off-grid homestead in the forest. And on this glorious day to me, maybe not so much to you if you're not used to this kind of setting. It is an overcast day, but it also means that because there's a low pressure, the heat isn't escaping, and so like your pot when you're boiling water, you put the lid on, heat is kept in, and so it's a milder day. It is now, I would say about 3 degrees above Celsius, plus that is, and I can smell the forest still starting to come back. And in a couple of hours, even it will be even warmer. It will be more like 5 or 6 degrees, maybe 7 or 8, as you know, by 6 o'clock. And it's now, I would say, 3 in the afternoon ish. And so for me, this is a glorious day, and I thought I would come in. I've been promising to take you snowshoeing, but I haven't been able to because I don't have a action cam that can handle the cold and maybe vibrations as I walk around. And this one, because we're in plus territory now, plus Celsius territory, and I thought that, well, maybe it can handle it, and we'll find out. The camera can handle it, so we'll find out. And I'm looking at water right here, water, like liquid water, which we haven't seen for a long time. And tomorrow, they said we're supposed to get a decent amount of rain, so a lot of the snow that is around now, this is about 3 feet, and over there is probably like 4.5 feet. I'm looking, I'll show you. Is gonna probably melt by at the end of tomorrow, and then slowly milder days are here, plus longer days. But today or tomorrow, our daylight hours are 12 hours, so we're officially half daylight, half nighttime, and we still have. So what do we? If it's, say it's say it's 2/3 into March, so April, May, June, 3 more months of gaining daylight. It's insane. I love it. I love it. And one other thing. I usually do my gardening tips at the end of a show, but before I forget, because we're going to be walking around, I'm not sitting or standing somewhere steady. I may forget, because where I'm taking you today by the streams, we have a amazing meandering stream, not a whole, maybe about 150 feet away from where I'm kneeling. And so I haven't gone there this year, snowshoed there this year, and so I'll be busy looking around, and I may forget. I get excited easily, as you know. So the gardening tip for today is, I know that since if my snow is going down and melting and it's getting milder here, it can only mean that for where most of you live, you're already well into spring. Well, I mean, you're thinking about planting. So one of the most important things are, my farmer friend going by. This is the guy that I have a video on that when we have a lot of snow, he comes and plows it with a big tractor. Look for it. Is soil. I get this question all the time about pH level. What's the pH level? What's the soil? Do you know what it is? You know what pH is? pH is nothing. I mean, I don't mean to, it's not nothing, but don't get all worked up over it. pH is like duty, like you pay at the airport, or when you're crossing the borders and like a duty-free shop. It's not nothing, but it's not anything that you need to worry yourself about that much. You have two ways of dealing with pH. One is either you get your test kits, and they're not complicated. Don't be afraid of them. You can get them, and you take a bit of soil and add whatever liquid that they give you into this sort of a beaker thing, and then you shake it, and then when the color changes, you see if we have acidic or alkaline soil. Now, the chart, it starts at 0, it goes to 14. And the good rule of thumb is for me to remember, because I'm more visual, is that 0 is, the 0 end is acidic, and the 14 end is, then the color goes from bright orange or yellow to bluish purple. So 0 being the bright yellow. So to remember which side is acidic, which side is alkaline, if you don't already have a chart, the 0, I go by this AC for acidic. AC is earlier than alkaline, AL, for those dyslexic friends of mine. So it's easy to remember. If it's at the lower number side, it's more acidic, and if it's at the higher number side, it's alkaline. Some things, if you're a flower gardener, I love flowers, I love you, thank you for doing that. If you're a flower gardener, some flowers prefer acidic to basic. So you don't have to go messing with the soil. So you just have to find out what soil condition you have for that particular part of your garden. Yeah. And then you go and buy the flowers that you like that do well in that particular part of the garden. That's all you have to do. How easy was that? No fuss, no muss. You just go plant what likes that particular soil condition already, and it'll just thrive. You don't have to worry about watering too much, not enough shade, not shade, the pine needles, none of that. Then, not a lot of wind. I don't think I need my glasses. Then for the alkaline, same thing. If you're growing now, a lot of people are eating kale. So kale, if I'm not mistaken, and you can let me know, kale prefers more alkaline to acidic. So it's probably just over the halfway point. So it's probably like number 8-ish. And so just over 6, so 6.2 to 7.2 is a sweet spot. That's where balanced. Whatever plants that like that means that they want both a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So just find out what kind of soil you have and plant the right plant or vegetable, whatever that you like, into that particular area. That's all. Another way to do it is if you are dead set on you only have maybe, I don't know, maybe you don't have a whole lot of space. You only have a little bit of space, and that happens to be more on the acidic side than alkaline. But you want to plant your kale there. So what do? That kale's not going to grow. They're not going to be happy. Some need more phosphorus, some need more nitrogen. So then when you find out what that soil is, then you have to add or subtract, mostly add, what that soil requires to be productive for what you want to plant in it. That's more work, but if that's what you like, that's what you want to eat, that's what you want to eat. That's all there is to it. It's just you're the boss. I think I'll leave it at that. If I remember anything else about soil conditions, soil types, acidity, I'll let you know. But today we're here to go snowshoeing. For those of you who don't get snow, I can just right off the top of my head think about 6 of you who don't ever get snow. And you're not even neighbors. Some of you are in the southern hemisphere. A snowshoe, if you've never seen one, I know you're looking at these teeth-like things, thinking, well, it looks like dinosaurs, some scary thing. But you need this for grip. It's not like a snowshoeus dinosaurus. Anyway, a little attempt at humor there. But these ones are neither old or new. They're in between in age. And the size of them is dependent on the weight of you. What's happening here is they're trying to give you your surface tension. What I mean is, if you look at a hare has the long feet, and so you want to not sink into snow, Arctic hare, to not sink into snow, you want to have larger surface area, like a clown's feet kind of thing, but much more exaggerated. So these are the more or less the right size. I say more or less because I didn't buy these new. I rarely can afford to buy anything new, but I do have actually, before I became here, two new pairs that we bought. They weren't cheap. They were, I think, on sale. I think they were $160 each as in a pair. And that's then when you're buying something new, you can you have the luxury to choose the exact size for your weight. So these were made in Quebec, and they've been making these since 1870. Now, speaking of that far back or even earlier, the Inuit, Eskimo, formerly known as Eskimos, whatever, they used to make them out of maybe a sinew. So here would be crisscross. You might have seen them in some older winter cabins, or some on the walls. Some people display them on their houses, much larger than these, maybe twice the size of these. Like it's a big whitish, and then there's like a sinew running through it, and you would tie your shoes to it. Then the ones that I mentioned earlier, the new ones that we bought, this is wood. Those are made out of aluminum, and then they come in different colors. I mean, really, you can pay as much as you got for them. So I'm going to put these on. Where the camera is, there's no snow there, so I might damage these coming to get you. Otherwise, if I don't, anyway, I'll put these on and I'll come and get you, and then I'll take you down if I can. And I'll have to remember my stick too. Usually, it's good to have two sticks, because where and when you need snowshoes, it means the snow is pretty high. So even with snowshoes, you might go right down. And if you do, then you need to have poles to push you up, because it's cumbersome to walk with these. All these do, you can't run with these or even walk fast. All these do is to make sure you don't sink in, or you don't sink in too much. All right. It really smells great. I love it, and I think I'm ready to go. So let me put these on. And then and I apologize in advance for the shakiness of the camera. This is just a regular camera. It's not made to be outside. It's not made to be you be walking around with it. But I apologize in advance. Forgive me, and thanks for bearing with me. And we're going to go to an uncharted territory for this year that I haven't been to. I can't even remember these ones are right foot or right or left. It doesn't say, but we'll just go with it. Yeah. Tighten it. Yep. When I go snowshoeing, though, folks, I mean, this isn't. I'm just going with you, and my hand. I got the camera in one hand and pole in the other hand. But usually, it's good to have a backpack with you. In case of an emergency, you don't know, especially if you're not on your own property. What can happen is, let me put my gloves on. What can happen is that you may get lost. Definitely need water, some kind of liquid, hot cocoa, water. I wouldn't recommend coffee or even some black teas, because you don't want diuretics. You want something that quenches your thirst. If anything, you want something with electrolytes. I would rather have you make some sort of a sweet tea, not an iced tea, but because then there's sugar and some salt. Have a banana with you, a granola bar, that kind of thing. So in case you get, definitely you'll get thirsty, but in case you also get hungry, you got some kind of a granola bar. I like to make my own granola. I actually love my own granola. And so if you, it's so easy to make. I have a video on that, on how I make my own granola. I'm actually, look at it. The snow, this was all snow. And there are videos, and I'm not making this, I'm not kidding you. This was all snow. This is new to us, that this is usnia. I have a video on this. This was used for, this is it has cancer fighting properties. It has, they're in, so it's like an anti-aging. If you look at one of these pharmaceutical based or even natural remedies, you'll see for anti-aging or cell regeneration, you see, I don't know if you can see it there. I hope you can see, I don't know. They use this usnia. Oh look, just to show you, see how far down that stick went? I made that stick. I make whimsical stuff. So when you're walking in the snow, but see how far down it goes? It's not, we're not even high where I'm standing. Do this. If this is for those of you who don't know, I just put my foot down and then give it a little push. See how far down it goes? I don't know if this gives you a perspective. This is so when you lift your foot off and set it back down again, there's no surprise for you all of a sudden sink in. So just give it a little. See, I'm giving a little bit of a dance. Yeah. So I'm pushing down on it. So it's like tamping down. So I still make sure that even though I have these on, I don't sink in too much. Something whimsical, if you've never noticed that, for those of you who are downhill skiers, you will see this more often on big trees. How can I find a good example? Here's a good example. See that circle around the base of this maple tree? A bigger example of it there. On those two guys. Sometimes that happens on big evergreens too. And when you're coming down a slope at a speed, well, anyway, I don't know how I don't even know how to explain something like that. It becomes dangerous when you get close to those. That's a big mound right there. All right, so I promised you, look, let me show you how far down that went. Like almost a foot. I promised you my, oh, jeez. It went down a good foot. And that's because I didn't tamp it like I told you I would. It's only, it's only because I don't want to, I mean, some of you probably appreciate it, but I don't want to waste too much of your time by just doing this. I will be here forever at this speed going, and which is not a problem for me if I'm by myself, because the forest is a healing thing, and I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind. I could do this for hours, especially on a day like today. There's not a lot of wind, and I just want to show you these mushrooms there. Are you able to? Let's go closer. What the heck? But there's not a lot of wind. Yeah, I hear another farmer coming with a tractor. Oh, he turned. Oh well. Oh no, it's not a farmer. There's a maple syrup operation here. It's a tanker. taking the maple water to the processing place. Can you hear it? Can you see those mushrooms? One day I'm going to grow my own mushrooms of the kinds that I like, and it's not difficult at all here in the forest, not at all. So this stump that you see, this little stump that you see, it's about 2-3 inches thick. And the one that you see to its right also has mushrooms on it. It's actually the same tree. That other part, mushrooms going all along the top of it, it snapped off. It was already dead. Anytime you see mushrooms growing on it, this is a white birch, it snapped off and it landed into the snow, which is beautiful and whimsical. I don't know what to do with it, but I don't know all my mushrooms. I don't know any of my mushrooms. Probably have a look. Should I go closer? Are some of you now yelling at me, telling me what it is? Oh, I'd like to show you the under belly, what it looks like on the bottom of it. I don't know how to get that far down without the camera. I'm stuck. Maybe this one. Hey, you. What's happening down there? Beautiful. I can just see someone doing a watercolor painting of these, just little dabs there. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Nature's art. Ooh, let me show you something interesting that you might not know about. I mean, I know some of you live in the same, more or less, place. So see this base of this tree? All those sort of broken down, sort of shells and bark, and that's a spruce growing next to a maple. Technically, see these trees here, or even the one before it to the left? Only that maple should be standing here. The one on the right is dead anyway, but what happens is that porcupines like here it is, the salt or whatever from the sap, and what they do is they scrape it out, they climb up it. You don't think a porcupine can climb up anything because they're clumsy walking, if you've seen them, and climb out and rip the bark off and eat it, and that's what kills trees. I've only seen, this is the first or second one that I've seen this year, but maybe because there aren't that many porcupines, or maybe because they have other food sources. And then if you look even closer, you'll see what the wormwood or whatever would have been in there. You see how there's these nice, beautiful channels that they create? More nature art work. And that sap, I'd like to one day maybe make my own amber. And what amber actually is like a sap of it could be white birch, it could be spruce, if it's ever gouged, or fir. If it's gouged, it comes out, and if a fly or anything accidentally touches it, or brushes against it, it gets stuck on it. And if it's the right time of the year, more sap will come out as that happens, because sap's running, like now, for instance, and it'll cover the bee or the insect or whatever. Because see, sap's running at this time of year. Insects are coming in about a month. So in about a month, the sap's just started to run now, but in about a month, it's running in full speed. And at that time, it's not a question of a little bit of a sap, it's just running. See how this one's just running, dripping, running. So imagine an insect gets caught in there, and that's what amber is. I guess that's how we're fortunate to know well preserved, because sap is actually what the native First Nations use for wound healing. So if you ever get a gouge, you put some of that on and it completely seals it. So it has also probably even has antiseptic properties. So now you can see how whatever that was here, chipmunks or anything, at the top of these cones or pine cones have the seeds, are delicious to them. And I mean, especially in the winter when there's not a lot to eat, well, that's a food source. Okay, so let's move on. I am trying to find how I can get to my my destination without a lot of. And by the way, folks, I'm talking to you, and I'm also inspecting my surroundings, surveying what trees are down, what from last year is healthy, what has anything come down to. Okay, so here's a good example of those circles that I saw. Look how big, how wide that circle is. And a skier coming down at a speed. Let's just go through here. Oh, that's deep. Look how deep that is. That's about a foot. Oh, here's another good example of depth. Here's a tree that's down. I need to process that. Come in a month or so. Where did it come from? And that's why sometimes I look around, do some detective work. Where is the rest of it? Where is the top of it? It's not the one over there, because that's older. And it's this is a fir and that's a spruce. The one that you see is topless. So where did this guy come from? Where's the base of it? Well, let's go more than. Oh, right. There you go. A foot deep. And like I said, it's been mild the past couple of days, so the snow's actually melted somewhat. Okay, so here's a bit of a problem. Look at that. Here's a bit of a problem, and that is that when that, oh, there it is. There's the tree. There's the rest of that tree. It's not snapped off. Let me move over. You can see that it has not snapped off. The whole thing's come down, and as it came down, it's brought down a little. It's disturbing a little tree next to it, to its left, if you can see. But more than that, here, it's killed, brought down a young teen maple, which I prefer to evergreens here, because evergreens, for every 10 evergreens we have here, we have maybe 2 maples. So there's no, see, like here, there's no shortage of evergreens. I love evergreens because they're, as the name suggests, they're always green, conifers. But we have so much of those and not enough of the maple that's in the middle. So if I ever have to, I have no qualms about bringing down the little one on the left and the bigger one on the right in favor of the maple. And so when that tree came down, see, if I should actually start from here. It has far-reaching branches, conifers do, and it snapped off another part of that maple branch. That's not a horrible situation, because it actually prunes it for me, the branches that are lower, but it's okay. Now there's a lot I can do with that. Just my imagination right now as I'm talking to you is running wild. So see this branch to the left that's gone off? And that branch is going to be pretty hard to move. It's going nowhere. What I could do is get trees that are maybe 2 or 3 inches in diameter and prop them against that and make a sort of a teepee, a sort of a really steady teepee. If you're ever in a survival mode or situation, this is one of the best places to set up camp, because you know that maple is not going anywhere. But there are other considerations. I don't want you to think that that's it. That's all you have to worry about. It's not. Okay, a little bit of an open area means that I've been working on this for a while because rarely there's any open areas. Where is the stream? And folks, if I can get to it, doesn't necessarily mean that we'll be able to see or hear it right now, because it could well be under this. I thought I heard a bird. Oh, under a lot of snow right now. But with the rain tomorrow, with the amount of rain that's coming, which means that the rain's going to be coming, picking up, the water's going to be picking up and coming down our way, because we're in a bit of a bowl. I explained that in another video. And plus, coupled with the warmer temperatures, it means that, this is, by the way, my blackberry patch, one of my blackberry patches, see? All around, I'm standing right in the middle of it. And every couple of years, they give you such an abundance in harvest. This one here is the closest to you, that's a hazelnut. But all the canes that you see that have a reddish tinge to them, all those canes are blackberries. And blackberries are pretty high, one of the highest in anything that's black currant, highest antioxidants, and then blue comes in second. So Haskaps are somewhere between blackberries and blueberries. Sometimes when I come out here, I see bunny poop, which are like pellets. Boy, see how deep I'm talking? And again, the snow has gone down because of the milder temperatures. Oh, what was that? Did you hear that? Where are you? Reveal yourself. But the birds are coming back. I bet you, so today is Sunday, rain's coming on Monday. I bet you by Tuesday, I'll be hearing a lot of birds. Whoa, wow, look at that. I'm a foot deep. It's a foot deep here, but where is the stream? It's completely buried. I bet you there is water running under the snow, but I neither can hear it or see it at the moment. And I think I'm pretty close to it though. Well, I'm 100% sure I'm right there. When I'm right on top of it, or like inches away from it, I'll stop. Oh, my snowshoe came off. Oh, can you hear it? There it is. Okay, folks, I'm gonna tie the camera somewhere because my snowshoe came off. And maybe you can look at this beautiful moss while I'm gone. Oh, maybe not. Come on, stay. Don't fall. Oh, come on. Good luck putting this on now, on this high snowbank. So maybe I'll leave the camera where it is if you're okay with it. I'm going to see if I can get close to it with my mic so you can maybe hear the babbling brook or whatever you want to call it. Excuse me. Can you hear it? I love it. Unfortunately, I can't see it. Neither can you, obviously. But while I'm here, I'm going to do a little 1 minute meditation, if you don't mind, and give thanks for this sound. Deep breath. Sorry, folks, I'm back. I really needed to make a stop there and do my little thankful meditation there. Very short. I promise to bring you back here again, maybe in a few days, if it's visible. By then. I would say it's right under that log. And I remember one day in the springtime, a family of chipmunks used it to cross over that, like as a bridge, to cross over from one side to the other side. It was hilarious to see their bobbing up and down and the tails and heads. It was actually scary. It looked like a long train, looked like a snake with many, many parts. I wonder if I can get close to this one. You can hear it too. Take a deep breath with me, folks. I know, just virtually, I know you're not here, but it's not the same. But just imagine you're here. I mean, I can't make this any more realistic than this, but oh, I left my walking stick somewhere. Oh, there it is. So, I was so excited by the sound of that brook, and I forgot my walking stick. Well, to not take so much of your time, let's go back up, back home. And like I said, I promised to bring you back to the brook again. Didn't take us long to get there. Look how many trees are down. And look how many are still up. Boy. All right. We'll take the same path that we took to not disturb the forest any more than you have to. Look at this big stump of cherry. Great for carving if I knew how to carve wood. I love that moss. If you could only smell it. Moss, folks, I don't know if you know, I'm sure you do. It doesn't die. When it's on at dry times, you know, like the heat of the summer or whatever, it just goes brown. But it doesn't die. And once the moisture's back, let me show you something really cool. I wonder if the camera can pick up on that. These are really tiny. The one on the right, top right, and the one at the bottom left. Can I get any closer? No, it's not that kind of camera, that fancy of a camera. And yeah, moss. You can put it on your roof. See, look how deep this is. This is me just now walking my way over. How did I? There it is. Lost my track. This is so healing. I know. Oh, sorry. You think, whatever, maybe, I don't know, but to be here, to be in this peace and quiet, I just be quiet. I don't think you can hear the brook anymore that's behind me. Just listen to the sound of the forest. There's a bit of a breeze, but other than that, there's nothing else. This is the wetland where you see all the berries and that. Bit of a blue sky happening. Thank you. If that bit of a breeze wasn't there, boy. Sorry about that. Lost my footing. Apologies. And you know those action cams that I talked about. You can put them, strap them to your forehead or uh, your backpack strap or whatever. But I don't understand how that works because you're not going to be seeing what I'm seeing. You know, because I could turn my head, but my body would be facing a different way. Maybe these things haven't evolved, so you can see what the person is seeing. Maybe one day go get there. A little tip for you: anytime you see this many needles, branches, whatever, on white pure snow, you know that there's been a disturbance. Because where we are, which means either a wind or a tree's come down, there's been a shakeup. In other words, it's one of my whimsical brush walls that I make. Every time there's a tree down, I use the leaves and branches and whatever to make these whimsical round structures to create new habitat for perhaps a new wildlife, where previously it was for something else. Now something else can live there. Well, folks, that concludes our snowshoeing, short snowshoeing. I mean, I don't know if I can ever take you on an expedition where I could take. I mean, I would have enough battery and film. Oh, look, we reached dry land. See, you're not used to walking with these snowshoes. You can step on one, just like your skis. One step on top of the other one, and then you're stuck. Yeah. Oh, I just did it again. But I hope you enjoyed this little trip with me virtually. I recommend that maybe you do this on hot summer days. That'll cool you. I know that it cools me. I watch wintry scenes on TV when I come inside from a hot day. And it gets hot where I live. Not just this cold, but it also gets hot. So if we're not... it's not rare to have a door to my woodshed. It's not rare to have... Oh, sorry, what I was saying, trying to show you how much snow there is. If I get down on the ground, you'll see about 4 feet of it. Yeah, so 30 degrees, 27. Once it gets to 30, it's hot. That's when it's hot for me. There's a bit of a sun there. I don't know if you can see it. But we've even had like 39 degrees with the Humidex, which is unbearable for me. 30 is even too high for me, but maybe not for some of you. Anyway, it was good to be with you. I'm going to have to shut the camera off so I can set it down and take off my snow boots. That's why I'm saying my goodbyes now. And as always, if you can, think outside. Box not required. Take good care.